Hello, fans of scary stories and legends about ghosts and the paranormal. Mr. Top F is with you, and today we will talk about the 20 most creepy legends about ghosts and the paranormal from around the world. The release will be divided into two parts, so subscribe to my channel right now and turn on notifications so as not to miss the continuation. If your intuition tells you that it will be interesting, like this video. In the meantime, we begin. The Black Aggie. The Black Aggie legend is one of the most well-known ghost stories in the United States, and it has been passed down through generations. The plot begins with the life and death of General Felix Agnes, a prominent newspaper publisher and politician in late 19th century Baltimore, Maryland. When Agnes died in 1925, his wife had a life-size bronze statue of him erected on his grave in Druid Ridge Cemetery. Augustus St. Gaudens created the statue, which was praised for its realistic depiction of Agnes, which perfectly captured his likeness and personality. Statue was nicknamed Black Aggie. Strange things began to happen after the statue was placed in the cemetery. Visitors to the cemetery claimed that the statue emitted malevolent energy and caused strange and terrifying events. People claimed that the statue's eyes followed them as they passed and that its expression changed depending on the time of day. Some even claimed that the statue screamed at them at night, causing them to flee the cemetery in terror. As the Black Aggie's legend spread, more and more people began to avoid the statue at all costs. Some claimed that the statue physically attacked them, while others claimed that they saw it move or even come to life. When it was rumored that the statue was cursed, the legend of the Black Aggie only grew stronger. According to legend, Agnes' wife had an affair with the sculptor who created the statue, and when Agnes discovered this, he flew into a rage and murdered the sculptor with his bare hands. As a result, the statue was said to be possessed by a malevolent spirit that cursed anyone who touched it. The legend was so widespread that it even entered popular culture. The statue was featured in several books, movies, and urban legends, and it became a staple of Baltimore's ghost tours and Halloween attractions. The original statue of General Agnes has been returned to Druid Ridge Cemetery, but the Black Aggie legend lives on. Though the statue has been relocated, visitors to the Dickeyville Grotto in Baltimore continue to report an eerie presence around the statue, and some even claim to have heard the statue scream in the middle of the night. The Bell Witch. The Bell Witch is a well-known ghost story that originated in Adams, Tennessee in the early 19th century. The plot revolves around the Bell family, who were plagued by a malevolent spirit known as the Bell Witch. The Bell Witch legend began in 1817 when John Bell Sr. and his family began to notice strange occurrences on their farm. It began with strange noises, such as knocking on doors and walls, but quickly escalated to physical attacks on family members. The Bell Witch allegedly targeted John Bell Jr. in particular, frequently pulling his hair and slapping him across the face. The spirit was also particularly hostile toward John Sr., whom it blamed for a variety of perceived wrongs. As the haunting persisted, the Bells sought assistance from their community. People from all over the region came to witness the strange occurrences on the Bell farm as word of the Bell Witch spread. The Bell Witch was known for its ability to imitate voices and sounds, and it frequently conversed with those who came to the farm. The spirit claimed to be a witch and told the family stories about its past and why it was haunting them. The Bell Witch's attacks became increasingly severe over time. Members of the family reported being slapped, pinched, and even stuck with pins. The spirit also had a habit of stealing items from the family's home, such as food and clothing. The Bell Witch's presence on the farm became increasingly unbearable over time. In 1820, John Bell Sr. died in mysterious circumstances, and the Bell family blamed his death on the Bell Witch. According to legend, the spirit claimed responsibility for the death and then vanished from the farm. The Bell Witch legend lives on in Tennessee folklore today. The story has been adapted for stage, film, and book adaptations, and the Bell Farm is now a popular tourist attraction. Many people believe that the Bell Witch was a real entity and that the haunting of the Bell family was one of the most terrifying and bizarre events in American history. The Weeping Woman. One of the most well-known ghost stories in Mexico and the southwestern United States is the legend of La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman. The legend has been passed down through the generations and has become a part of Mexican folklore. La Llorona was once a beautiful woman named Maria who lived in a small village in Mexico, according to legend. Her 2 young children were her most prized possessions, despite her striking beauty and fiery temper. Maria was consumed with jealousy and rage after her husband abandoned her for another woman. She drowned her 2 children in the river because she was enraged. Maria was overcome with grief when she realized what she had done and threw herself into the river, hoping to join her children in death. Maria, on the other hand, was unable to find peace in death, and her spirit became entangled in the mortal world. She was cursed to wander the earth weeping and looking for her missing children. La Llorona, according to legend, can still be heard sobbing along the banks of rivers and streams throughout Mexico and the southwestern United States. Her cries are said to be haunting and pitiful, and those who hear them become terrified. According to some versions of the legend, La Llorona will appear to children out late at night, mistaking them for her lost children. She will then kidnap and abduct them, never to be seen again. Others believe La Llorona is a malevolent spirit seeking vengeance on those who have wronged her. She is said to haunt those who have been unfaithful to their spouses, appearing in the middle of the night, weeping and moaning. The legend of La Llorona is deeply embedded in Mexican culture and is passed down from generation to generation. Today, the story is frequently told to children as a warning about the dangers of jealousy and rage, as well as the consequences of one's actions. Sadako. Sadako's legend is one of the most well-known ghost stories in Japanese folklore, and it serves as the inspiration for the popular horror film franchise The Ring. Sadako Yamamura was a young girl who grew up in Japan after World War II. She was born with a rare and debilitating disease that left her bedridden for the majority of her life. Sadako was a bright and creative girl who loved to read and write despite her condition. Sadako was diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 11 in 1951, which was most likely caused by radiation exposure from the Hiroshima atomic bombing. She was admitted to a hospital in Tokyo, where she spent her days folding origami paper cranes and praying for a miracle. Sadako believed that if she folded 1,000 paper cranes, she would be granted a wish and her illness would be cured. Even as her condition worsened and her strength dwindled, she worked tirelessly to fold the cranes. Sadako, sadly, never finished her task. She died at the age of 12 in October 1955, with only 644 paper cranes to her name. Her death was a tragedy for her family and friends, and it sparked a peace and nuclear disarmament movement in Japan. Strange occurrences began to occur in and around Sadako's hospital room in the years that followed. Visitors reported strange noises, cold spots, and seeing the image of a young girl dressed in a white gown. Some claimed to have seen Sadako's ghost herself, crawling out of a well and towards them with her long, tangled hair. Sadako's legend became well known in Japan following the publication of Koji Suzuki's book The Ring in 1991. The story follows a journalist who is investigating a cursed videotape that causes anyone who watches it to die within a week. The book's film adaptation, The Ring, was released in 1998 and became an international sensation. Sadako is now regarded as a cultural icon in Japan and around the world. Her story has influenced numerous works of art, literature, and film, and her image is frequently used in marketing and advertising. Sadako, despite her tragic fate, remains a symbol of hope, perseverance, and the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. El Silbón. El Silbón, or the Whistler, is a haunting legend that originated in Venezuela and Colombia. The plot revolves around a man who is cursed to wander the countryside, whistling a lamentable tune and seeking vengeance on those who have wronged him. El Silbón was once a wealthy landowner who shared a grand estate with his father, according to legend. Despite his privileged upbringing, Silbón was a cruel and self-centered man who delighted in torturing and abusing his servants. Silbón fell in love with a beautiful young woman who worked on his estate one day. He made advances toward her, but she turned him down, opting to marry another man instead. Silbón, enraged by the rejection, flew into a rage and murdered the woman in cold blood. Silbón's father was horrified when he discovered what his son had done and ordered his servants to whip Silbón as punishment. Silbón was left for dead in the woods after being beaten. However, instead of dying, Silbón was cursed to wander the countryside for eternity, whistling a mournful tune and seeking revenge against those who have wronged him. His ghostly presence is said to be accompanied by the sound of chains dragging on the ground and a strong odor of alcohol. Those who hear Silbón's whistle are said to be in grave danger because it indicates that he is close by and seeking vengeance. According to some versions of the legend, Silbón will kill anyone who crosses his path, while others claim he will only harm those who have committed major sins. Some people in Venezuela and Colombia carry garlic, crosses, or other talismans to ward off Silbón's wrath. Others believe that the only way to appease Silbón is to distract him from his vengeful mission by offering him food or alcohol. Silbón's legend has become deeply ingrained in Venezuelan and Colombian culture, and it is still passed down from generation to generation. Today, the story is frequently told as a warning about the dangers of pride, jealousy, and the consequences of one's actions. The Rake. The Rake legend is a creepy story that has been going around the internet since the early 2000s. The Rake, according to the story, is a mysterious creature that preys on humans and has been spotted in several locations across the United States. The Rake's first recorded sighting was in colonial New England in the 17th century. A family was awakened in the middle of the night by the sound of their dog barking outside, according to reports. They went to investigate and discovered a strange creature attacking their pet. The creature was described as pale, hairless, and with long limbs and glowing eyes. It was said to move with incredible speed and agility before disappearing into the night. There have been numerous sightings of the Rake over the years, both in rural and urban areas. It has a humanoid appearance, but with pale skin, glowing eyes, and sharp claws. It moves silently and quickly, and is said to have a chilling presence. Some versions of the legend claim that the Rake is a supernatural entity that feeds on human fear and suffering, while others believe it is the result of a botched genetic experiment. There is even speculation that the Rake is an extraterrestrial creature who has arrived on Earth to study humans. Regardless of its origins, the Rake is said to be a formidable predator capable of easily overpowering its prey. It has been reported that it can enter homes undetected and attack humans while they are sleeping. There have been numerous reported sightings of the Rake over the years, with some even claiming to have photographed or videotaped the creature. Many skeptics, however, believe that the Rake is nothing more than a fictitious character perpetuated by internet forums and horror fans. Regardless of the controversies surrounding the Rake, its legend continues to enchant and frighten those who hear it. It serves as a chilling reminder of the unknown dangers that lurk in the darkness, as well as the primal fear that we all share. The Shadow People. The Shadow People legend has been passed down through generations of folklorists and paranormal enthusiasts. Shadow People, according to legend, are mysterious entities that appear as dark, shadowy figures, often lurking in the corners of people's vision. The first reports of Shadow People sightings date back to ancient times, with some reports coming from Egypt and Greece. However, it wasn't until the 20th century that the phenomenon became widely known in the Western world. Many witnesses to Shadow People describe them as dark, humanoid figures with no discernible features. They are said to move quickly and silently, frequently disappearing as soon as they are noticed. According to some reports, they have glowing red or yellow eyes, while others claim they are wearing cloaks or hoods. While some people think Shadow People are a figment of their imagination or a trick of the light, many paranormal experts believe they are a real phenomenon. Some believe they are the ghosts of deceased people, while others believe they are interdimensional beings who exist on a plane other than our own. Some people believe shadow people are a malevolent force capable of causing harm to humans. When confronted with shadow people, some claim to have felt an overwhelming sense of fear or dread, while others claim to have been physically attacked by them. One of the most terrifying aspects of the shadow people legend is that it appears to be a worldwide phenomenon. Similar sightings have been reported from all over the world, including the United States, Japan, and Australia. The true nature of shadow people remains a mystery, despite numerous attempts to study and explain the phenomenon. While some may dismiss them as nothing more than a mental trick, others believe they represent something far more sinister and otherworldly. The shadow people legend serves as a haunting reminder of the unsolved mysteries that still exist in our world. The Phantom Monk of Pontefract. The Phantom Monk of Pontefract is a ghostly legend passed down through generations of residents in Pontefract, West Yorkshire, England. The ghost of a Benedictine monk is said to haunt the area around the town's historic All Saints Church. The Phantom Monk was first seen in the 16th century when the town was a bustling center of commerce and trade. The monk was seen wandering the streets of Pontefract at night, his face hidden beneath a hooded robe, according to reports. He was said to walk in silence, with an air of solemnity and reverence befitting a holy mission. There have been numerous sightings of the Phantom Monk in and around All Saints Church over the years. Some claim to have seen him kneeling at the altar, while others claim to have seen him walking through the churchyard, his ghostly form illuminated by the moonlight. While the Phantom Monk legend may appear to be a harmless tale of a friendly ghost, there are darker aspects to the story. According to some accounts, the monk is a forerunner of death, and his appearance foretells tragedy and misfortune. The tragic fate of a group of soldiers stationed in Pontefract during the English Civil War is one of the most chilling stories associated with the Phantom Monk. According to reports, the soldiers were billeted in the All Saints Church, and as the night progressed, they became increasingly agitated and fearful. Some claim to have seen the Phantom Monk's ghostly figure walk among them, while others claim to have heard strange whispers and moans coming from the shadows. The soldiers emerged from the church as dawn broke, pale and trembling with fear. Later that day, they were ambushed and slaughtered by enemy troops. The Phantom Monk legend grew in the aftermath of this tragic event, and his ghostly presence has become a source of fascination and terror for the people of Pontefract over the years. A series of reported sightings and encounters have kept the Phantom Monk legend alive in recent years. Some claim to have seen him walking around the town at night, while others claim to have heard strange noises and ghostly moans coming from the churchyard. While many dismiss these reports as mere superstition or imagination, others believe that the Phantom Monk is a real presence who still haunts the town to this day. Despite years of investigation and research, the Phantom Monk's true identity remains unknown. Some believe he was a real person, possibly a monk who used to live and work at All Saints Church. Others believe he is a figment of the imagination, a phantom of the town's rich history and folklore. Whatever the truth is, people are still fascinated and intrigued by the legend of the Phantom Monk of Pontefract. The Pink Lady. The Pink Lady is a ghostly legend that has been passed down through generations of Ohio residents. According to legend, the Pink Lady is the spirit of a young woman who died in a car accident on the grounds of Oxford College in the early 1900s. According to legend, the Pink Lady was a college student known for her beauty and charm. She was frequently seen wearing a pink dress around campus, and she had a reputation for being friendly and outgoing. She lost control of her car one evening while driving back to campus after a night out and crashed into a nearby tree. She was killed instantly, and it is said that her spirit has remained on campus ever since. There have been numerous sightings of the Pink Lady on and around the Oxford College campus over the years. Some claim to have seen her walking along the pathways late at night, while others claim to have seen her ghostly figure in the windows of the college's buildings. One of the most well-known stories about the Pink Lady involves a group of students who were studying late one night in the library. According to reports, the students noticed strange noises coming from the stacks and realized they were not alone in the building. A pink mist suddenly began to fill the room, and the students noticed the ghostly figure of the pink lady standing before them. The students were terrified of the apparition and fled the library, never to return. Other stories about the pink lady include reports of strange noises and unexplained phenomena in the college's dormitories, as well as sightings of her ghostly figure in the chapel. Despite years of investigation and research, the pink lady's true identity remains unknown. Some believe she was a real person, while others believe she is a phantom of the college's rich history and folklore. Whatever the truth is, the Pink Lady legend continues to fascinate and intrigue people to this day. Many people visit the Oxford College campus in the hopes of seeing her ghostly figure, and the legend is widely regarded as one of Ohio's most famous ghost stories. The Churel. The Churel is a folkloric figure from India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. The Churel is frequently portrayed as a female ghost who takes on various forms and haunts people at night. The Churel legend also has been passed down through generations, and there are numerous variations on the story. One of the most common legends surrounding the Churel is that she was once a woman who died violently, often as a result of being wronged or betrayed by a man. Her rage and grief over her untimely death transform her into a vengeful spirit, luring men into the woods at night and killing them. The Churel is frequently depicted as a beautiful woman who appears to be lost or in distress and calls out to travelers on lonely roads late at night. When a man responds to her call, she leads him into the woods, revealing her true form and attacking him. She can assume the appearance of an elderly woman, a seductive temptress, or a monstrous creature with sharp teeth and claws. According to some versions of the story, the Churel can transform into different animals, such as a cat or a fox, and is known for her piercing, blood-curdling screams. She is also said to have the ability to manipulate the elements, causing sudden gusts of wind, rain, or thunder. The Churel is said to be especially active during the Dussehra festival, which takes place in the autumn. The veil between the living and the dead is thinnest during this time, and the Churel is more likely to appear and haunt people. There are several ways to defend against the Churel. Some believe that wearing amulets or talismans can protect them from her evil influence, while others recommend carrying salt, iron, or garlic. Certain prayers or mantras are also said to be effective in warding off the Churel. While the Churel is a popular figure in South Asian folklore, many people dismiss her as a myth or superstition. Those who believe in her existence, however, see the Churel as a terrifying and powerful symbol of female rage and vengeance. End of Part 1. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss the second part, which will be released in the coming days. Mr. Top F was with you. See you soon. Bye.